Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
1980 is going to start first. In 80, Melbourne chapter founding members Peter John Hill and Raymond Hammett flew to California to visit Oakland chapter president Kenny Walton in prison.
All right.
Walton taught them how to manufacture meth, or amphetamines, in prison. Okay. Paving the way for the drug's introduction into Australia. And in return, the Australians supplied the Oakland chapter with 300 liters of the chemical phenylacetone, enough to produce 50 million worth of amphetamines.
Oh.
Hill posted the phenylacetone in 3-liter pineapple juice tins to his closest U.S. contact, which was James Patton Brandes, who they called Sleepy Jim.
Oh, Sleepy Jim. Here
All right,
you go.
look at this.
You won't be sleepy so much after this.
That chemical
bud.
must not be illegal in Australia if they're getting
Probably
their hands
not.
on that.
Right. Hells Angels rented a farmhouse, Melbourne's northeast, near Hurstbridge, where they produce amphetamines in 50-pound batches worth $600,000 a piece.
That's in the 80s.
The drug lab was raided by the Special Operations Group 10th of March, 1982, and Hill and the 3 other Angels arrested. Eventually, investigators arrested 19 people, seized 3 kilograms of amphetamines, as well as cash, explosives, handguns, and also a machine gun.
Oh, nice.
This sparked an internal feud over the gang's operations that led to around 40 violent incidents. Oh,
Internally.
oh shit.
Well, Hill and another member, Roger Biddlestone, cut their ties with the Hells Angels and cooperated with the police, prompting the club to put a contract on their lives. 9 Hells Angels were charged with conspiring to murder Hill and Biddlestone, but Biddlestone refused to testify, and the charges against his former club mates were dropped.
I bet.
He was subsequently convicted of contempt of court, though.
He's fine.
Hill was convicted on drug charges in 87 and jailed alongside a number of others. During the investigation, codenamed Omega 2, the police tracked club members' movements ferociously, prompting Jim Brandes, the Melbourne Hells Angels American contact, to try and assassinate Barb Armstrong, who was a detective on the case.
Oh, shit.
Brandes, who had been previously acquitted of the 78 attempted murder of 2 police officers in the United States, flew to Melbourne, but was immediately deported.
Yeah, as soon as the guy was like...
Oh, they're like, no, dude, you've already got violent crime on you, you
right.
idiot.
Right.
Get out of here.
I mean, to avoid all that, these countries should be like, nah, you're on a list.
Oh, most of them do. You get most of them.
I'm saying, if you're in the United States, you'd be like, you're going to Australia, well, you're on a list, bud.
Oh, no, they don't know that.
They should.
You don't need to do that on your way out. It's just the country you're entering. Everybody has a violent crime offender. Like, you're not even allowed in Japan or anything if you've been convicted of even a drug charge.
1990s. Terrence Raymond Tognolini, they call him Terry. He's the president and enforcer of the Angels Nomads.
President and enforcer. Okay, did double duty.
Damn, he was involved in an apparent road rage incident with motorist Mustafa Yildirim in Campbellfield, which was in Melbourne on the 22nd of December, 1995. Tognolini followed Yildirim to his workplace. The men traded blows until they were separated before Tognolini retrieved a gun from his car and he fired several shots at Yildirim, all of which missed.
Well, you're a pretty shitty enforcer there, guy.
Right. Holy shit, man. Police raided Tognolini's home and found 5 cannabis plants in the backyard. He was charged with unlawful assault with a weapon, making threats to kill, possessing cannabis, cultivating a narcotic plant. The case against him collapsed, though, when Yildirim refused to testify after being repeatedly harassed, even about the pot. He's like, did he try to shoot at you? No, we can't get him on pot charges.
All right. Meanwhile, Tognolini was later implicated in the murder of Vicky Joy Jacobs, who was a 37-year-old woman who was shot 6 times as she slept next to her 6-year-old son in her apartment in Long Gully, Bendigo on June 12, 1999.
Dang.
The previous year, Jacobs had given evidence that helped convict her ex-husband, Gerald David Preston, for the August 96 murders of a drug dealer and mechanic Les Knowles and his employee Tim Richards in Adelaide. And her testimony implicated the Hells Angels in hiring Preston for the killings.
Uh-oh.
The prosecution heard that Tognolini had contracted Preston to murder Knowles, who was trying to expand into the Hells Angels drug territory, and also sold him a Luger pistol that he used in the murders.
Oh, look at that shit.
Why is your president doing this stuff, guys?
I know, it's so stupid.
Jeez.
Well, the Victoria Police bulldozed their way into the fortified Thomastown headquarters of the Nomads chapter in July of 1999 as part of the investigation, seizing a sawn-off shotgun. bulletproof vests, bags of documents, what kind of documents, and 3 motorcycles.
So nothing really.
Tognolini, he was overseas, Preston in prison at the time of Jacob's murder, and no one has been charged with this crime. However, a coronial inquest in 2004 declared that the Popo believed she was murdered on the orders of the Angels as a payment for Preston remaining silent over the club's involvement in the Adelaide murders. I don't know about that. Maybe.
So her ex-husband and probably the father of their kid.
Right.
And he was like, I'll stay silent, but you can murder her. Don't worry. Wow. It's pretty fucked up. I guess he was probably going to get murdered if not, huh?
All right.
And moving on to the 2000s, June 2004, Victoria police arrested Stephen Rogers, the president of the Melbourne chapter of the Hells Angels, on charges of trafficking in amphetamine.
Oh.
The Victoria police seized assets worth $3 million Australian dollars, including 6 houses, cars, trucks, and motorcycles.
Damn.
In 2004, the Hells Angels and the Rebels were involved in a brawl at the Dance Music Awards at the Adelaide Football Stadium that ended with the bikies first using the chairs and their fists as weapons, followed up by guns.
Uh-oh.
The guests at the Dance Music Awards fled in terror as shots were fired.
I bet they did. Sons of bitches. Angels members Raymond Joseph Hammett Jr., they call him Ray, and Paul Peterson, and club associate Andrew Hinton each pled guilty to charges of conduct endangering life, intentionally causing serious injury, false imprisonment, and rioting after abducting Brendan Schiavella from outside a bar and holding him captive for 5 hours in Ivanhoe, Melbourne. They did that on the 25th of June in 2005. Schiavella was found with a toe amputated, but told the Popo he could not recall how it happened. Well, I think it's always been like that.
Right.
It's been bleeding for 25 years. And there was no motive has been established for the incident either.
Oh, geez, he knew to keep his mouth shut.
Right.
Well, January 2007, we're back to Tognolini. He was expelled from the Hells Angels, had his tattoos removed, and was savagely beaten and dumped on the street outside Thomastown, the clubhouse, after his fellow members learned that he was the subject of child sex allegations.
Oh, no. The mobster show, the mafia episode last time, there was...
Roy DeMeo was participating in child porn, yeah.
What the freak's going on with these idiots?
Well, police arrested him on blackmail and arson charges and for a series of sex offenses 6 months later. He was found guilty of 18 counts of supplying a drug of dependence to a child.
Oh, shit.
1 count of an indecent act with a child under 16.
Oh, that dude needs to be moited.
And 1 count of attempting to pervert the course of justice and imprisoned for 6.5 years in 2009, and was further convicted of 9 counts of blackmail, 3 of arson, 2 of intentionally causing injury, and stalking, and had 18 months added to his sentence in 2010. That's it.
Just 18 months.
Many of Tognolini's crimes were part of the extortion racket he ran, using his former Hells Angels connections, as well as threats and assaults to intimidate his victims. Nobody killed this guy?
Right.
The fuck?
Holy shit. 18th of June, 2007. Hells Angels member Christopher Wayne Hudson opened fire on 2 men and a woman during an argument in the central business district of Melbourne. After assaulting his girlfriend, Kara Douglas, 2 male bystanders, Brendan Kyler and Paul DeWard, attempted to assist Douglas. Hudson pulled a gun and shot all 3, killing Kyler on the corner of William Street and Flinders Lane. Hudson fled from the scene, went into hiding for 2 days before turning himself into the Popo on the 20th of June, 2007. He did that in Wallen, north of Melbourne. 2008, in May, Hudson guilty to the murder of Brendan Kyler and was sentenced that September to life in prison with a minimum of 35 years before becoming eligible for parole.
Right, good for you. He dragged her out on the street by her hair, her girlfriend. Attempted to assist. Hudson pulled a gun and was fatally wounded in the head, Kyler was. Douglas later had a kidney removed as a result of her injuries. Mm-hmm. So he's all drugged out.
Yeah.
Just 2 days before that happened, he fired at police in Campbellfield at a night of car driving with Collinwood footballer Alan Didek.
Jeez.
He's in prison for life, so...
Right.
Moving on to 2010's Hells Angels member Glenn David Dickman was found guilty of intentionally causing serious injury and threatened to kill, and acquitted of theft, while club hanger-on Ali Chowik was found guilty of recklessly causing serious injury, threat to kill, and false imprisonment October 2014 after the pair beat 18-year-old German tourist Faizo Akbari, Doesn't sound German.
Right.
With a baseball bat at the Hells Angels clubhouse in Thomastown in September 2009.
Oh, shit.
When he falsely claimed to be a club member. Okay. Akbari's injuries included bleeding between the skull and lining of the brain, a broken leg, and lacerations to his scalp and face.
Oh.
Well, how about this? Don't go around in a notorious motorcycle gang and claim that you're a part of them.
Right. Idiot. Okay. Peter John Hewat, they call him Schizo. He was Sergeant at Arms of the Hells Angels East County chapter in Campbellfield, which is in Melbourne. He was arrested in March of 2013 after striking a 64-year-old woman during a dispute over his dog. And he was again arrested in October as part of a statewide raid targeting the Angels, in which 13 people arrested, weapons and drugs were seized. Hewat was sentenced to 10 months in jail in January 2014 after he pled guilty to assault, weapons offenses, handling stolen goods, and operating a tow truck without the proper license.
All right.
That's it.
They got him on that one. That was the most serious offense. The Bandinos reportedly declared war on the Hells Angels after an ambush on several Banditos members outside the affiliated Diablos clubhouse in Melton, Melbourne on the 1st of March 2013, in which over 30 shots were fired and 2 men, including Bandinos National Sergeant at Arms Toby Mitchell, were wounded.
Whoa.
The Hells Angels Nomad chapter were blamed for the attack, and brothers Daniel and Ben Pegararo, both members of the Hells Angels Puppet Club, the Red Devils, were questioned by the police.
Uh-oh.
Within a week of the shooting, a clubhouse in Bendigo linked to the Hells Angels was burned down, and the Pagaro brothers' home in Epping, Melbourne, was attacked in a drive-by shooting.
Uh-oh.
Although prolonged violence was expected, the feud seemingly ended after senior members of the two club held peace talks.
Oh, you know that shit's
Good
going to
for you.
happen. All right.
We don't have time for this, man.
Right. Ray Hammett Jr., president of Hells Angels Nomad, pled guilty to a charge of recklessly causing serious injury. Jailed 3 months after attacking a man who approached him in a McDonald's in Thomastown on the 7th of June in 2013. Angels carried out drive-by shootings using either AK-47s or M1 carbines and attempted bombings on 2 properties, a tattoo parlor in Dandenong, and a gym in Hallam, owned by Comanchero's state president Michael Murray. They call him Mick. Yeah, yo, Mick. In the early hours of September 30th, 2013, after several Angels were assaulted while trying to recover stolen motorcycles from the rival club.
Oh, jeez. Within hours of the attacks, the clubhouse of the Hells Angels Dark Side chapter in Seaford, Melbourne, was shot at in an apparent retaliation.
Uh-oh.
October 13, 2013, Victoria police raided every Hells Angels property in the state.
Oh, shit.
In an attempt to curb bikie-related violence, seizing guns, ammo, drugs, and cash, and arresting 13 people, but failed to retrieve the assault rifles used in these shootings.
Damn.
Of course, why would you?
Well, they may be stupid, but they're not dumb.
Finally, the first time these guys did something smart was not bring the shit back.
Right. Oh, Dennis Basic.
Not a basic Dennis.
Right. He was a prospective member of the Dark Side chapter. He was arrested for attempted bombings, properties, and pled guilty to 13 charges, which also included firearm and drug possession. Having been held in custody since his arrest until the time of his sentencing in December 2015. The judge ruled that the time he had served in jail, it was enough, but ordered he served an additional 12-month community corrections order.
What are these judges doing? The president of the Hells Angels Dark Side chapter, Mohammed Sam Khoder, was jailed for 7.5 years for selling more than $220,000 worth of amphetamines to undercover police officers in January 2015.
Oh, you dummy.
Again, why the fuck are your presidents doing this?
Fucking stupid.
He had been targeted during an investigation codenamed Operation Staten, part of a major crackdown on motorcycle gangs by Victoria police. He sold 910 grams of the drug to officers in 11 separate transactions between October 2013 and February 2014.
Damn.
He also sold a Browning semi-automatic pistol with ammunition to the officers for $10,500.
Oh, my.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on new episodes of Outlaws and Gunslingers or Battles of the American Civil War, right here on the Bang Dang Network. And don't forget to check out those playlists.